Welcome everyone. You're here with Nye Scored One. It's Nye, and I'm here with Jadon Goldman. Jadon is a class of 2024 graduate from Somerset Academy Canyons in Boynton Beach. He's from Delray Beach, Florida, and he has just completed his first year at Heidelberg University in Ohio. He currently is a outside linebacker. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Off season it's been rough going forward, but right now I'm just trying to look forward.
How's summer going? I've seen you've been doing some summer training. How has that been going? Are you prepared for this upcoming semester?
I believe I'm prepared. It's really all about my mentality and how I carry myself. I don't want to be one of those people who are left behind, so I always want to be ahead of people and be ahead of the game. I rather over prepare than under prepare.
Right. That's amazing. So I do want to dive deep into your childhood. How was it playing football growing up? Did you always know you wanted to play football or were you playing other sports as well?
I actually was playing other sports. I think it was basketball first, and then it turned into soccer. And then I remember my grandparents owned a restaurant, and we had this one customer. His name was Jack. He's the one who really introduced me to the sport by playing like NFL games on the TV. And it was like I remember the first game I really like. I knew I fell in love with football was it was a Steelers game. I don't remember who they were playing. I
Hmm.
remember watching Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger. It was Le'Veon Bell too,
Hmm.
and that's how I knew I knew loved the game, and ever since I've been really obsessed with it.
I'm glad that you recognize those key players because that was my next question. Growing up, who did you look at? Who was your inspiration? And are those your same players today?
No, actually,
Hmm.
it's kind of shifted over the years when I played different positions. So when I played middle linebacker, it was mainly like the normals like Ray Lewis, Luke Kuechly, and then right now I don't have the same. Like right now it's I got Michael Parsons, Miles Garrett, and even though he's a rookie, got Abdul Carter in there. Um, so I always study the game, and it always changes because the game's always changing.
Right, that's true. If you were able to give a message to your younger self right here, right now, today, what would you tell them?
I'm telling you, keep going. It's I've been through a lot, and I know it's never always gonna look good, but I promise it always gets better.
Yes, I agree. What would you give to other young kids watching?
Actually, one thing I'd say is make sure you just stay focused. Don't let outside distractions get to you because they will get to you. Especially and even with the upcoming freshman class, take care of your mental health because that's one
Hmm.
thing my freshman year I did struggle with.
Hmm. Can you tell me more about your family athletic background?
Yeah. So my dad, he never really played organized sports, but he's always been into soccer. Recently, when he got older, he started getting into like cycling, like the Olympic cycling on the roads. My mom, I went to her alma mater, Spanish River, so she did volleyball, weightlifting, track. She did flag football.
Yes.
She was always active, and my older brother played
Hmm.
contact sports when he was in elementary school. My little brother played soccer.
Okay, that's great. So I want to get into high school. So we're talking about, elementary, middle. I want to get into high school. So we all know that the first year of high school for you, class of 2024, was COVID, the year of COVID. So can you walk me through a little bit about that? I see you were going to Spanish River High School. How was your first year? How was it playing football, COVID, your first year at school? It was a lot going on. Tell me about that.
Man, Spanish River. If I'm being honest, the program itself I didn't like, but the people I played with I liked. It
Hmm.
was the more of the connection part of it. Because if I'm being honest, the coaches they had before the ones they have now,
Hmm.
they weren't really put together. They weren't organized. They didn't work on campus. So it was like, and I felt like I got treated unfairly.
Hmm.
Obviously, had the coach's favorites. Um,
Right.
but overall, I enjoyed the practices, the little plays I made here and there, and then actually that spring I did pretty good. So I was pretty satisfied then. But I knew that that wasn't somewhere I could play for 4 years consistently.
Right.
But overall, Like even with the academics and athletics, I couldn't really do it over there.
Wow. That's really big. Can you walk me through your sophomore year, junior year, and senior year at Somerset Academy
Uh,
Canyons? What was the big difference? What was the shift? What made that school stand out from all of the others?
the one thing I will say was the culture, because
Mhm.
I didn't really understand like these different schools, but I just knew that maybe it's another opportunity to go shine somewhere else.
Mhm.
So coming in, I was undersized. I didn't really understand the organization of things, and their culture was a lot more different, a
Right.
lot put together, more family
Mhm.
oriented. So um, when I first got in there, I didn't really know what to think of it. The
Mhm.
coaches the coaches did welcome me in with open arms. They were cracking jokes. They was made me feel welcome.
Right.
And then the first week I was there, they wanted me to. I was stronger than most sophomores.
Right.
So they had me lift with the seniors and juniors,
Okay. I see you.
and that's how I knew. Like they saw my drive and competitive nature. I
Mhm.
was a little more physical than most people,
Right.
and they saw the potential, and they actually gave me what I wanted, which is playing time. They used me all parts of the field at running back, fullback, on special teams, linebacker, which was my original position.
Mhm.
So it was honestly great going into Somerset my sophomore year.
Right. That's amazing. What advice would you give to transfers in high school?
I would say do what's best for you. If you feel like you're not getting the best opportunities where you're at now, go ahead and give that talk with your coach and your parents and see what y'all can do. If not, then find a new home where you can feel welcome, because I know that not where you're at now, it may not always be home, but you can always move around and be happy somewhere else.
That was really nice. Thank you. I also would like to know, you played track. You did track.
Yeah, I did do
So
track.
you did track as well as football. You are a dual sports athlete. How does it feel? How is it? Can you walk us through that? Because a lot of people see, okay, you play one sport in high school, but let's talk about two and three. Because I played three sports in high school, and it's a lot. We have high school tests, we have quizzes. It's a lot, especially with it being our senior year. It's a lot going on. So can you walk me through your day to day process with that? How did you manage both?
The spring was where it really triggered, like I had to manage both of them, because you had to go from one practice to another, or you have to be late from one practice to another. So I feel like I managed it well because I had the mindset in like the track would help me better in football.
Right.
Whether it was doing the sprints, the
Mm-hmm.
200s, the 300s, the 40s, all of that would have translated to football, with which my was at some point was my weakness, was my speed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then when it came to doing the field part, doing shot put, explosion,
Mm-hmm.
working on things like that. So the coaches did understand that in the spring, that you played that sport in the spring, so you got to stick to it, and then you go to footballs right after that.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt like they were all in communication with each other, so it
Mm-hmm.
made it easier for us to be able to do both sports.
Okay. So I do want to talk about, what was your favorite memory while you were at Somerset?
Somerset, I think my favorite memory, it had to be honestly my senior night. It was a lot of emotion in the air, and then I felt like what was going to be my worst game
Mm-hmm.
ended up being my best game.
Wow.
I had ended up beating the school sack record that game,
Mm-hmm.
and I had my all-time career high of sacks, which was 3 sacks in one game.
That's great.
So I feel like that was
That's
my best
big.
memory. Yep.
I love that. So let's get into college. So, like I said, you're at Heidelberg, you're in Ohio. First, let's talk about the weather, because
Right.
born and raised in South Florida, it's very hot. It's hot right now. So
Right.
let's talk about Ohio. How's the weather up there? How's the change?
It was not hard
Mm-hmm.
for me, like fall camp, because we're about to head into fall camp,
Right.
so it's obviously hot. I don't think it wasn't hard to bear, but we had a conditioning test at 5 in the morning,
Oh,
and the air's a lot more thinner up there.
right.
So when I'm doing the 300 down here, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm doing up there, I'm out of breath. My chest start hurting a little bit because
Woo.
it's harder to breathe,
Yes.
especially
Mhm.
when we get into further into the season. It gets colder.
Mhm.
I feel like you're a lot more injury prone because you're not moving around as much.
Right.
So you always have to move around to stay warm so you don't get injured. That was my biggest problem was injuries my freshman year.
Okay, so we know that playing K through 12, some people may say it's all fun and games. A lot of people don't have the mindset that, okay, they want to make it to the next level. So can you tell me the big difference from playing K through 12 to college?
Yeah. I didn't really play I didn't play tackle football
Right,
until high school, but when
right.
I played I think it was elementary school, it was I just playing for fun. Like everyone's
Mhm.
playing for fun.
Right,
You're just having fun out there.
right.
When you get to high school, it's more of there's some people playing out there for fun,
Yeah,
and
it's a
then
good
there's some
mix.
people that's actually playing they want to make some out of it.
Mhm.
And then honestly, I've always once I got to high school, I've always been that okay, I want to do something with this. But when I got to college, it's not much of a difference because there's some people who's on the team just to be on the team,
Mhm.
but then there's the people, which honestly mainly the out of state kids because they're coming far from
Yep,
home,
it's different.
and it's like they want to do something with this, whether it's break records, they want to transfer, they want to do something good here, transfer because not everyone has the same opportunity. So I feel like the intensity wise is different, but when it comes to the mindset, it's all the same thing. Some
Right.
people want to make it out, some people don't.
Okay. I want to talk about the differences in like the schedules. Like how's
So,
the workload and stuff?
um, I will say my freshman year, spring was the hardest for me because the days that I had off, we didn't really have anything to do. We had meetings, and that was
Mm,
really it. And the
right.
days I had classes, I had like 4 classes in one day.
Yeah.
I was I was definitely drained because I also worked on campus,
That's great.
and it was a lot. Fall camp, if I'm being honest, I don't remember much of it,
Hmm.
but I remember that I was sleeping everywhere but my dorm.
Let's talk about the diet. What about the change in what we're eating, how we're taking care of our bodies? Because, like I said, in high school, even in college, acknowledge, but in high school, we're eating chips before the game. We're having a whole burger. Like we're doing whatever we want. But when it comes to college, it's getting a little bit more serious. We're dealing with a different level of talent. What about the diet?
The diet, I didn't take it serious until this summer. I didn't
Oh
actually
no.
no till the end of spring.
Okay.
Because when I was last summer,
Mhm.
I remember I wasn't eating good at all. I was eating
Uh,
McDonald's. I was eating whatever I wanted. And then I
McDonald's.
went up there. I mean, I was still in shape, but
Right.
I wasn't
A
feeling
win
my
is a win.
best. Yeah,
Mhm.
I wasn't feeling my best. And then when I was injured throughout the season, I wasn't really taking care of
Mhm.
my body like that. I was still eating. Um, and then this summer, I decided. Well, actually, my coach at the end of spring, he told me, "Hey, I need you to do this. I need you to shed off some like not muscle mass, but like some fat." I'm like, "All right, I can
Mhm.
do that." And ever since he said that day, I've been like kind of locked in, and I made it a habit instead of a chore to just keep up with it, keep up with the dieting. And honestly, it's not that hard. You still get to eat most of what you love. It's just you got to eat the right things and where it comes from.
Yes. So one thing that I've noticed is that you're very big on your faith and your religion. Can you walk me through that? How do you keep close to your religion while you're playing football? I know football is as big as even school. Like when you have a lot going on, you may stray away. How do you stay close with your relationship with God?
If I'm being honest, I remember last fall I did fall away from a little bit. I
Mhm.
was going through a lot of
Right.
mental troubles, problems back home, things like that, and it was rough. Um, I ended up I ended up getting closer when I think it was last spring or around that time
Mhm.
because I wanted to make a change for my life. I knew I wouldn't be here without God because it was all about my perspective. I didn't have the right perspective on things. Like there's a lot of people that wish they were even in my position.
Mhm.
So I never wanted to take advantage of that again. So I
Yes.
decided, I think I should be, make my faith with God stronger because that's the only way I'll actually be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I did get baptized up there in the spring, and it was probably the biggest life changer. I forgave people who did me wrong. I was a lot happier, and I feel like I'm doing a lot better now overall.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I love that. So, can you tell me what makes you so passionate about football? Why football at the end of the day?
It's honestly therapeutic for me. I just love everything from the hitting to play calling, because at the end of the day, it's like you're showing how bad you want something.
Yes.
And I've always had that competitive nature towards me, and the passion towards if I'm doing something, I want to do it to the max. So it honestly, it was never a chore. It was always something like, hey, like you good at this, you can do something with this.
Okay, so I want to talk about room for improvement. So we know you're going into your second year up playing college in Ohio. What could you say your weaknesses are and that you can improve on the field?
Well, staying healthy was definitely one of them.
Right.
But if I was probably by change of direction and how I move outside of pass rushing. Um, One thing I was just strong. But I wasn't always quick. I couldn't read stuff fast enough. It was always somewhat wrong with my reaction time. So that's one thing I've really been working on this offseason was pass coverage, my mobility, especially my mobility, like my stretching and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that really play a big factor into how I perform overall, especially with the mobility.
Okay, so I've seen you were named Defensive Linebacker of the Year. You're also a two-time first team All County player. How did that feel being recognized for your talent?
Actually, it felt pretty great because I feel like since my sophomore year, I've been overlooked, and that's one thing I was always like told like I was built for greatness, but I felt like I was never getting the recognition I deserved.
Right.
And like when I finally got it, I felt like I didn't feel like I was on top of the world, but I felt like I finally the hard work
Yes.
and like all those hours I spent on the field and watching film, I felt like all of it paid off. And I was honestly ecstatic. I was so proud of myself. And then once I got to college, it's like you got to forget about that. So
Yeah, you
you
gotta
just
start all over.
start all
That's
over.
fine. Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about your future plans? So do you see yourself playing past the collegiate level?
I do. People say it's unrealistic, but
It's not.
I feel like now with this new day and age, as long as you work hard, you
Mm-hmm.
can definitely achieve it. It
Definitely.
just everyone has a different journey. Not everyone's gonna be faster than others. Some people it may come faster. Some may gotta wait a little bit.
Definitely. So before we wrap things up, I do want to end off with a little game. It's called TNT with Nye, Top Notch Takes. So you're going to give me your three most unpopular opinions about sports. It doesn't have to be football if you don't want it to be. But just give me your most three. People probably wouldn't agree, but it's something that you believe in.
All right. This was actually from my boy Blessing because I know he's gonna see this. Uh, LeBron's the GOAT of basketball. And I don't care anyone says he is the GOAT of basketball. And then Patrick Mahomes is not as good as everyone makes him seem.
Ooh, they're not going to like
They're
this.
not gonna like that one. And let me think of another one, man. The trenches is the hardest position, like the most physically exhausting position on the field.
Okay.
O-line and D-line.
Well, those are Jadon's TNT top notch takes. Thank you so much for coming, Jadon, and having this interview with me.
Of course.
Thank you guys for watching. This is 101 with Nye.